This is the second video of the week.
Wow.
Hi. I made a board game video already this week, so I can make a role-playing game video. And this is going to be about Halt, my role-playing game, which is formerly called Beyond the Fall. But I renamed it because there's another role-playing game called Beyond the Wall. But I like the new name, so Halt it is. Basically, it's going to be coming out in February because, which is very soon, because there is, on Kickstarter, they're doing a thing called Zine Quest, which are kind of like an ode to all the original like RPG zines, which basically started role-playing games. And kind of showing that history, they are calling out people to make zine role-playing games or zine role-playing appendices, content, things like that. And posting it in February, and then they kind of like post it on their blog and they talk about all this neat stuff. So I wanted to be a part of it. And so Halt is basically a role-playing game that I hacked together. It used to be a hack for Paranoia, and then it started slowly developing into, I changed basically everything about it. And my friends and I really love playing it. And so I started talking about it on my YouTube channel here, and people wanted a copy of it, and I was like, it doesn't exist as a physical thing, but I was like, that's a good idea, so I was like, I'm just gonna write it down, and then I realized it was it wasn't like a thing that I could just write down and be like, yeah, you'll understand this, and so I went a little crazy and started like I didn't mean to, but I started actually creating a role-playing game. So, enter Halt. It's a role-playing game set in 1996 in a megalithic hotel, and it basically has some key concepts, which is basically you walk in and you can become hotel maintenance staff, the maintenance crew, which basically the bartender, who is a cyborg of some sort, classic bartender, he offers you quests to go, I'm trying to hesitate not to say Beyond the Fall because that was kind of my catchphrase for a while. You leave the fall bar and you take the elevator up to all of the floors beyond it. The hotel is endless. There are unlimited floors up and down. And basically every floor is completely different. Some of them are going to be like hotel rooms. Maybe they'll be like broken down or old. Maybe they'll be brand new. But some of them, the elevator might just open up into a endless green field landscape, or it might open into a castle corridor, or it might open into Curse of Strahd, or it might open into a dystopian universe that is just endless on its own. Every floor is basically a module from any other game. If you want to, you can just have the dungeon door be the elevator, and then they jump into it. But the weird part about it is that you have all of these very dystopian-esque weapons that are also not really jokes, but they're just weird and clunky and odd and probably don't do what you actually want them to do, like microwave guns that melt walls, grappling hooks that can only fire once, things like that. And so you're running into these either medieval or other landscapes with your weird ragtag crew. Basically, you don't ever create characters ahead of the game. You start by just walking in and then building them with the bartender. So you never have the session zero. You kind of just jump into the game so that you can sit down, play with your friends at a bar, wherever, and really jump into it. And then there's all of these clunky. Wow, this is getting confusing. This is why I had to write it down. Regardless, it's the 1980s. Technology in 1996 with the clunky computer console terminals. They hang from the ceiling. There's more cyborgs, and if you get hurt, they remove the limb or whatever that got hurt and replace it with old clunky cybernetics. And there's a supercomputer named Fortra that kind of like oversees the hotel. I created a website called zonware.net which you can go to. It's linked below. It is very much in an alpha stage, but it might explain a little bit of this further. I also have a very early copy of the rules of Dead Halt on there, which is very much not done. And you might find it interesting. So this is me just rambling about Dead Halt. Go check it out and let me know what you think. It's kind of a mess right now, but I'm kind of enjoying that. So thanks for watching. Talk to me about my role-playing game. And if you want to play it, I'll send you some stuff. Have a good night.